Let's talk about something that's totally taken over our screens, Korean dramas. It's a global phenomenon, and it's completely changing the game for what we watch.
I mean, just think about it for a second. They're all over your Netflix recommendations, they're trending on social media. K-dramas are, well, everywhere. So how did this happen? How did they go from being a pretty niche interest to this massive force in global entertainment?
Well, I can tell you it wasn't an accident. This incredible success is built on a very specific and, honestly, a very powerful formula. And today, we're going to break that formula down piece by piece. Let's get into it.
Okay, so first things first. At the absolute heart of it all are the stories. K-dramas are built from the ground up to have these super addictive plot lines and characters you feel like you actually know. And that's not just good writing, it's a core part of the strategy.
You know, one of the biggest advantages K-dramas have is their structure. A lot of Western shows can just drag on forever, season after season, sometimes with no real end in sight. K-dramas, they're different. They're designed with a complete story. You get a beginning, a middle, and a real ending, usually in about 12 to 24 episodes. That means you never have to worry about a show getting canceled on a cliffhanger. It's a guaranteed emotional ride. And honestly, it's tailor-made for binge watching.
And this is why we get so invested. The characters are dealing with things we all get, no matter where we're from. You know, things like finding yourself, dealing with family drama, or the pressure from society. They tackle mental health, school stress, social inequality. These are universal human experiences. It just lets the stories jump right over cultural barriers and connect with us on a really personal level.
But of course, a great story needs to look and feel amazing, right? So let's move on to the second key ingredient, the absolutely stunning Hollywood-level production quality.
Seriously, the amount of money and effort they put into production is just massive. K-dramas are famous for their cinematic feel. It creates this premium experience that just pulls you in from the very first shot.
Every single detail is polished. We're talking gorgeous cinematography, incredibly detailed sets, costumes that look like they're straight off a runway, and actors who are just masters at conveying emotion. It's a total feast for the senses. Okay, so you have this amazing product. The story is great. It looks incredible. But how do you get the whole world to see it? Well, that needed a catalyst. And that catalyst was a cultural movement known as the Hallyu wave.
Hallyu, which literally means Korean wave, is this big strategic push to export South Korean culture to the world. We're talking music, movies, and of course dramas. It was the driving force that really put these shows on the global stage, turning them into powerful cultural ambassadors for the country.
And this created this brilliant, self-powering cycle. It starts when people watch a drama and get totally hooked. That sparks an interest in the culture. Suddenly they want to try the food, buy the clothes, maybe even learn Korean. This drives up tourism and exports, which gives the economy a nice boost. And with more money in the system, they can invest in making even better, higher quality shows. So the wave just gets bigger and bigger. It's genius.
So if Hallyu was the catalyst that got the ball rolling, the next elements were basically like pouring jet fuel on the fire. They took this growing wave and just blasted it across the entire planet.
And the single biggest game changer? Streaming technology. All of a sudden, you didn't have to hunt for these shows. They were right there, available to pretty much anyone, anywhere, with just the click of a button.
Global streaming giants like Netflix, they saw the huge potential here, and they invested big time. They weren't just licensing shows, they started producing their own. But the most crucial thing they did was provide high-quality subtitles in dozens of languages. That right there removed the final barrier for a massive global audience. Access became truly universal.
But you know, a streaming platform is really just a delivery system. The real energy, the passion that fuels this whole thing, that comes from the fans.
The K-drama fandom is one of the most dedicated and organized fan communities on the planet. They are not passive viewers. They're out there creating, translating, and promoting. They build these incredible online communities. They share clips that go viral, and they drive conversations that keep these shows trending for weeks. It's basically the most powerful, organic, word-of-mouth marketing you could ever ask for.
So what happens when you combine these addictive stories, the movie-like quality, a huge cultural wave, and global streaming? You get a massive ripple effect that goes way beyond just your TV screen.
At this point, we're not just talking about entertainment anymore. The success of K-dramas has turned them into a real cultural and economic force that's shaping global trends and boosting entire industries.
And the impact is so direct, you can actually measure it.
An actress uses a certain brand of lipstick in a show, sales for that K-beauty product can spike globally. They eat a delicious-looking dish, restaurants serving Korean food see a ton of new customers. The fashion, the travel spots, it all translates into real-world economic activity. It turns viewers into consumers.
But in the end, it all comes back to this one simple idea. As one critic put it so perfectly, behind all the slick production and the smart marketing is a core of real, genuine human emotion. The whole formula works because, at its heart, it's about stories that reflect our own feelings, our own hopes, and our own struggles.
Which kind of leaves us with one last really big thought. With their complete stories, their relatable themes, and their cinematic feel, is the K-drama model what we've all started to expect from television? Is this carefully crafted formula no longer just a Korean thing, but the new global standard? It's definitely something to think about the next time you hit play.